professional bowling is not really built for viewership.
We just try to maintain the things that we're working like 30 years ago. The full bowling concept is shrinking, and it is because the bowling alley is a business. And if you want to earn money, you have to adapt. Let's just say that EJ Tackett won $450,000 US. If he was a professional golfer on PGA Tour, guess a place where he would be in the standings according to the earnings.
That's the fix that we are talking about. It's something new. It's the way business are supposed to be run.
Guys, just a heads up before we start. This show is not about expert opinions. This show is purely about entertainment. We might choose controversial topics, provoke, make a joke or two about ourselves or other players. Sometimes we will say things just to start the conversation. What you hear isn't always about our personal opinion. We're just voicing what people might be thinking, but just scared to say out loud. And if you enjoy this kind of bowling content, please subscribe to our channel. That's the only thing that we ask, and it really helps us to improve our content to you. So thank you so much.
Today I think we have a fairly interesting topic on our hands. It has become usual for us to talk in this podcast about some controversial topics, about issues that we have in bowling. And I think this time we will try to look at a bit of a bigger picture, bigger scope of how bowling is doing and what issues do we currently have, what issues do we see, and potential fixes, right? So let's jump in and I don't know, what are the biggest issues that you currently see?
Well, there are at least few issues that I see, but let's go back in time just a little bit. This current weeks was the time that we saw how bowling typically looks and how it could be. PWBA Anniversary Open in a full arena, a lot of cheerful crowds, youth is
it was a refreshing view.
Yeah, so it was amazing seeing all those pictures and videos and stuff was amazing. I'm
jealous for the people
I'm a little bit sad that I wasn't in attendance, but it is what you are expecting from a typical sports event.
Yeah.
Big crowd, big cheers, a lot of emotions based on that, because first of all, sports is entertainment, and people has to be entertained. It's just what sports is, and you have to build on that. And in bowling, I'm not seeing a lot of crowd building. I see a lot of putting a lot of money into players' prize funds. It's not just on biggest tours, but also in the tournaments. If you are participating in league nights or I don't know, those blitz tournaments, all right, the main focus always is a prize fund of of what the players will get financially, because you need to attract them. But maybe the times are a little bit different right now. Maybe players want to be, in a spotlight. They want to be, cheered and clapped for. I don't see that bowling is going into that path. I see a lot of, missing crowds in one of the biggest tournaments in bowling, including, US Open, all the majors in PBA and PWBA, international tournaments as well. You see a crowd which is not really a crowd. It's just the players who did not make the finals. They're just sitting in the
and their families.
But it's fine. But we are talking about like 150 or 200 people. It's not a crowd. It's not arena-built sports event. It's something that happens on other sports, in like on typical Sunday when your kid's 7-year-old is playing, somewhere, in the league.
Yeah.
So that's the main issue that I see, and I don't see, governing bodies taking care of that as much as it could be done.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point that you made, that most of the tournaments usually are focusing on the prize funds, and that's completely like different topic, and that's an issue in itself. But I think these two things are very much related. You are focusing so hard and so much on the tournament price fund, all the other parts of the tournament, marketing, visibility of your tournament and execution and stuff like that. They are going to the sort of a second place. And but are these two things really separate? If you have a bigger marketing budget, if you attract more eyes to your tournament, maybe bigger crowds, as you said, right? So it's more tickets sold, more viewership online. Maybe you can monetize that as well. And by spending some bigger chunk of money on the marketing budget, maybe you can attract additional sponsors, and that will increase your price fund. So that's two things that are very much related with each other, and it's unfortunate to see that tournaments and governing bodies really don't take that too hard into consideration. Well, it just seems so looking from the sidelines, and I think we have very good, well, not good experiences, but personal experiences with that as well. Talking about European tournaments and talking about European governing bodies like EBF and European Bowling Tour, for example, is a great practical example to this case, because on this side of the pond, well, unfortunately, it's in a decline constantly, and we try to, as a media brand, we are interested in providing those kind of services and helping the tournaments and helping the whatever needs help to bring that exposure. But unfortunately, it is very hard to talk about those things with certain people, and well, the effort is just simply not there. If you look at the tournaments that we have here, the quality of the information available about those tournaments is very poor. We have a lot of outdated solutions that are making it difficult to actually spectate and track what's happening in the tournament. I'm not talking about broadcasts, because that's even bigger issue. Some tournaments, of course, have live streams, but if you turn into the live stream, you have 15 different live streams with 2-3 lanes that are pointing to the ceiling.
But is that an issue of a tournament organizer or just governing body, or is it
I think it's
because
both.
of the sport?
I think it's both. But because of the sport, well, yes, bowling is sort of slow. It's maybe not that, the current format is maybe not that entertaining to watch, and we can talk about it as well. But the issue with poor quality of live streams and poor quality of websites and poor quality of media preparation in general, it's both. It's both tournaments and both governing bodies, because, well, not saying that it's all bad and that all tournaments are doing bad, but there are definitely more poor cases than good ones.
Yeah, of course, and that's the second issue that I see. Bowling is archaic sport. It's old, but not old in like it was made many years ago. It's just old and outdated. We don't see those new solutions, how to attract new people and how to make sport popular. I mean, if you look at what kids are doing right now, they are constantly doing something with their phones, tablets, computers, something with the screen, all right? And do you see that many content related to bowling, not just professional bowling, not just like videos from I don't know professional tournaments or that's content that is occasionally made by professionals. I mean about generic content from bowling alleys where common people just post something about bowling. Is it just a funny reel, maybe a picture of something, maybe celebrity, bowling or something? I don't see that. And I spend a lot of hours daily watching that content because it's my job. But I don't see that. And I see that in other sports that are thriving because it builds excitement. Because kids, I don't know, if you saw those travels of iShow Speed. Our older audience doesn't know what iShow Speed is, but it's one of the most popular YouTubers, a streamer who is constantly now traveling around the world in Europe now, and he's getting money for coming to the country, but he doesn't really do something here. He just like visiting, just tasting a culture a little bit, and leaves at night. But for the kids, it's like amazing thing. They're just like going in streets like crazy, doing crazy stuff. It's crazy. And what I'm trying to say that if kids are seeing some entertaining people in bowling, they will follow. And putting a lot of efforts and financial stuff into bowling, in creating those reels, being on social media, being proactive in those platforms, it can really build a new community, a bigger community for you to make bowling again, because they will come to play. They will try to understand why there are different oil patterns, why they strike better on ones than others. They buy bowling balls, they interact with other bowlers, they attract their friends into sport. You have all those chain of happenings just because you invest in something that is high demanding right now. And I don't see that. I see that we are still not investing at all. We just try to maintain the things that we're working like 30 years ago, and we just try to maintain them, just to be on the same page that we've been in 2000s or 1990s.
I think with this point you kind of touched another issue. The first issue was the professional tournaments and how the game and structure is built in itself and how it's presented to the public, right? So it's let's just say the first issue was that professional bowling is not really built for viewership. And here we have another issue, which is basically the culture and how bowling is perceived by general public in general, and how do we attract people, especially younger people, because I think I don't have all the demographics and age groups that play bowling like constantly, right? But my guess would be that it's constantly getting, like, the age range is getting lower, because attracting younger people is getting difficult, and there are a few sub issues under this. So first of all, of course, you mentioned that we don't have that much user-generated content. Of course, it is very, very nice that we have creators and professional players such as the house channel, right? With Paki being the lead, and we have young creators like Ryan Barnes, and we cannot forget the Kyle and Brad channel, and there are quite a few of those, and it's very nice to see that those professional bowlers are actually becoming professional YouTubers, or already became ones, and you can always follow the journey and so on. So that's very nice to see. But as you said, if you look at other big sports as I don't know, golf, let's say, well, basketball is a very big one, but of course it is. You constantly see a lot of different creators that are not necessarily professional players of that sport, but they are professional creators, and they create content for people to watch, for people to relate, and bowling is sort of missing that. I'm not saying that it's not entirely there because, of course, there are people who are creating that content, and some of that content is very funny. I saw a very funny commentary uh, video on TikTok, which was hilarious. I will send it to you later. But that's definitely missing, and it's not really urged by people who can do it, and that is our top guys.
Yeah, and you know, when you don't have those young people in bowling, the bowling alleys just lost their customer. Just think of regular people just who comes to bowling alleys. I'm not talking about league bowlers or occasional those pros who comes to practice or something.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about general people just who comes to bowling on Friday night to have a good time. So it's young audience. It's people under 35 who likes to drink some cocktails, to have a chat with friends, to eat something, and to listen to the music. And when you're losing that, bowling alleys just turns out into, it happened in our bowling alley. We had a bowling alley of 24 lanes.
Yeah.
They just saw that they cannot fully book them, so they decided to cut in half almost. We left with 14 lanes, and the rest of the area that was saved was put for arcades, billiards,
Restaurant
and restaurants and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
tables. So the full bowling concept is shrinking, and it is because the bowling alley is a business, and if you want to earn money, you have to adapt. If you see that bowling is not that entertaining or not that popular anymore, you have to make changes, and those changes is not in favor for bowling in general, because if you have less alleys, you have less players, you have less coaches, you have less room for clinics, for tournaments, and well, it's bad for the sport. So you have to invest in those things and in youth, because they constantly generate money. They come with their friends. They likes a good time. They don't count that much. If you and I go bowling just on general night, all right, and we took one beer, for example, one wouldn't be enough. And you will spend
Well,
you will spend a lot of money at bowling alley just because it was fun and you just been hooked on. So you have to put that in consideration when thinking about bowling and where it's going.
yeah, and of course the price are getting higher of like the game of bowling or an hour of bowling compared right now and a few years ago
Yeah,
is
but
like day
people
and
are
night.
getting
And
more money, so it's.
well, some people are getting more money, but some don't, and the price that you see, I don't know in other countries, but in ours, it's super high, especially at those mainstream bowling alleys, and if you want to just casually play, you will double think that decision because it's very expensive, and
And you're seeing that constant decline of those league bowlers. Or just take USBC for example. They have those paid memberships. If you have USBC membership, you can participate in some kind of events, get a card, get discounts, and so on. So in the past, we had a lot, like 1.5 million of memberships back in the day, and now it's just around million. I had that number written down. It's 1,093,909 in 2022-23 season. So it dropped like for 30% almost. All right, and it's not just because the bowling is getting boring, or I don't know, people who tend to be bowlers just died, because of the old age or something. It's just one of the issues is because the bowling centers are closing, especially the ones that are in your area. You're not that good to be traveling a lot for practice or something because it's too expensive, and you just drop from the sport. You choose something else because there's a lot of different sports right now which doesn't require big physical abilities or something. You just, disc golf, for example, or even the same golf, that bowlers are so in love with. So all those things adds up in one big basket, and if you're not cleaning that up, I mean, you're a dead man.
Yeah, I just remember jumping a bit back to that thought about creators on various platforms, and it's very related to bowling centers as well and their situation, and how we can take a new perspective, new approach on how to run a bowling business and how to run bowling content. And there is a guy now that bought the bowling alley, old bowling alley in US, and is revamping it, rebuilding the business and the alley itself, and creating constantly new content with superstars like Simo. He's inviting people to make decisions on how the bowling alley will shape, and I think that's a very nice initiative, very great idea, and that's the fix that we are talking about. It's something new. It's the way business are supposed to be run right now. It's like you have social media is something that well, it's a new norm in our world. It's the main channel where you search for things and you do things and you watch things, and utilizing the community that you have right there is amazing. And I bet that at least some of the people that are right now commenting and making those decisions and helping him rebuild that bowling alley, they will later become your customers. They will travel to you. It will be like a spot, that you kind of, if you live in US, you might want to visit that. If you are traveling to US and you constantly watch this guy doing those things, it might be one of your destinations that you will include in your travel plans because, well, I've been following this guy. I helped him create this beautiful center. Well, I would like to visit that.
Plus, you rate him as a celebrity now.
Yeah.
Because he has like hundreds of thousands of followers, and for a young audience, it's a celebrity, and you just want to visit because you want to see him in person.
Yeah.
And that's very important. And I don't see that people are getting that. And
well, young people are getting that, but
yeah, but they're getting off the bowling. So what's the difference?
Yeah, so I think that's we already been on this topic for a long time. So of course we will leave a link to this guy's profile if you want to check it out. Follow him for sure. He definitely deserves it. And I think the issue here is clear that we are doing the things the same for far too long, and we need to take a new approach, and young people are already doing it. So I just hope that more young people can be included in spots where decisions are made.
We talked about money just a little bit before, and I think that it's one of the major issues as well. I just wanted to express my opinion on that because when we have less people in the sport, we have less entries. We have just, less budget to make a good prize fund. And I'm not just talking about European tournaments. It's happening all across, the globe. And there's not much more money to put into the prize fund because you don't have any additional sources. You're just very dependable on on entry fees.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a lot of people participating in your event, or you just have a fixed number of participants, or you just have those PTQs but nobody is participating in them because it's too expensive or just it doesn't make any sense or something. You just don't have the resources to make a bigger prize fund. And then you have an issue because a lot of good bowlers that are those pros, real pros, the top shelf players, they cannot make a living out of it because there are not much money. You have inflation, you have a lot of different economical situations and so on, but you have like 15, 20 players who can make a living out of just being on, let's say, on PBA Tour, okay? Because it's much easier to count numbers because they are officially available. And I had that interesting number in mind. We talked about golf just a little bit because bowlers love to be outside playing golf. And maybe it's not the best comparison because golf is, much more popular. But it has something in common with bowling because it's slow, it's not that interesting to watch, and it's really hard to be involved with if you're not a golfer yourself or never tried golfing. So I'm just talking about the money, okay? So imagine, let's take EG Tackett, for example, like a PBA Tour Player of the Year, most earned money. The numbers are not official yet because we have to count those last tournaments, but let's just say that EG Tackett won $450,000 US, okay? And if he was a professional golfer on PGA Tour, guess a place where he would be in the standings according to the earnings on 2025 season. Just guess a
place 130.
Almost 151st place.
Damn.
He would be just above Japan's Takumi Kanaya. You know,
I'm good,
you know
I'm
that
good at
guy?
counting money. That's
So,
nice.
and it's it just shows how small bowling is according to the prize funds and that money that is involved in the sport. And you can look in any way possible into the professional sports if you want just a product that is highly consumable by a customer. You have to invest and you have to have money. You have to have good sponsorships.
Simple.
You have to have good streaming or TV contracts. I don't see that in bowling. I see transition to new live stream platforms going into the internet platforms and so on. That will require money from a casual person who just loves to see bowling. But you want to have a full perspective. Why are you paying those money for what? For what are you paying?
So I think it's an easy fix. Get money. Nice.
How?
No, but in all seriousness, I think that's a very big issue about money situation that we currently have, and for people to be able to make a career out of bowling, it's a fairly difficult task because if you even if we don't compare bowling to other sports, and let's say that still the payouts that, for example, PBA players get at taking the top places, first place, second place, getting into top 5, it's already a pretty decent amount of money. Well, just let's put it that way. For winning a major, you can get like what 100,000 or something US dollars.
Yeah, if it's a major.
Yeah,
if it's not, it's like 10,000,
so as I said,
30,000.
if you win a major. So for other tournaments, it's of course lower, but the biggest issue here is not how much money is given to a winner of a first place, but how much money is given to the people below that. And if you take a look at players who are, they are maybe in the top 50, and they are getting there, but the payout is super low, and taking into consideration the amount of budget you need for traveling, getting from one state to another. If you bowl in maybe other countries or continents, that's even more expensive, plus all the accommodations, and so professional bowlers need to work other jobs, their main jobs, and then only have professional bowling as a side thing, a hobby almost.
Yeah, but it's not professional sport. Then it's a hobby. You cannot
Yeah.
say that LeBron James has a hobby of playing basketball.
Yeah, so but that's what I'm saying. It makes it super difficult for you to be to feel and be seen as a professional athlete, because you are working on this on a sideline as a contractor or something. So it's a big issue, and it needs to be solved. At the beginning of this podcast, I mentioned that the sponsorship deals and marketing is a very important part of this aspect. So I think we need to find ways, to attract more people to watch bowling, and to attract sponsors outside of bowling to invest into this beautiful sport. It's an old sport. We know that a lot of people know about it, play it, but they are not familiar with with the sport of bowling.
Yeah, they
And
never learn how to hook. Like 70 million people across the US play bowling at least once a year.
Yeah, and
70 million.
if you could attract at least like a few percents of that, it's already a huge win. And that disconnect, we talked about the bowling alleys also, like shrinking the number of lanes, and they are not actually trying to, bowling sport is just like we have bowling lanes, you can play, but the main thing is you eat, you drink, you have fun. Bowling is just a side thing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, just
But
take
that's
these shoes
yeah,
and go.
false.
Have your time.
That's a false narrative. Great example was France. We've been there to a couple tournaments of bowling GP, and we've been to bowling plaza, bowling centers, where they are actually cultivating the culture of bowling and how it's supposed to be played. They have memberships, they have teams. When you come there to play bowling casually, you have staff going around and maybe giving you an advice on how to
Not
throw a
maybe,
ball.
it's mandatory.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not giving you the shoes and just fill your names in that
Yeah.
screen yourselves. You have a guy who goes with you to the lanes. He explains you about bowling, how to hold the bowling ball, how to throw it, how to get bigger scores. It's you just give that basic information about the sport,
Yeah.
and you constantly show people that it's not just leisure activity. It's not like jumping on trampolines or I don't know whatever kids are doing right now. It's a sport, and you have to perform in a way, because you can injure yourself, you can make some damage on the lanes and so on, and you just give people that knowledge and awareness that this is happening right now. And if you want to have a really good time, you have to have some knowledge and rules, the house
Yeah,
rules.
and you learn how to actually make a strike, how to throw that bowling ball, and you kind of get hooked, and you come then to play again and again and again, and then you learn that there are leagues, there are competitions, there are tournaments, and that's how you get involved into the sport. And those memberships are also a very good idea, to help bowlers maybe save a bit of money, but you are then a constant, customer. So that's a very good way to do it, and I think more bowling centers and more countries should adopt this. This is a very good way to to attract new people, and also like the leagues and tournaments that you have. Leagues are shrinking as well, you know, and if you in some way could attract those people to participate in those, that would be a huge victory for bowling, and that's how the audience will grow. So league formats and you know, team competitions need to be kind of rethinked as well, because if you have a team, it's nice to compete, you know, just for fun. If you can win something, even better. But first, you need to gather a team. You have to have the competition. So you know, we need to work on that, and I hope that as the time goes, we will get there, and more people will get into bowling. More people will be like that guy that we mentioned that buys a bowling center and tries to, you know, make it alive again. And yeah, I think on that note we can wrap this up, guys. If definitely there are plenty of other issues and fixes that we did not mention here today, so please leave it in the comments. I bet that some of the issues that you can think of will be two-handers, urethanes, and string pins. so
I mean, be creative. Think something else.
Let's discuss that as well. But we would like to hear different perspectives as well. You know, things that are more you know, bigger picture stuff.
Yeah, let's make a big discussion in the comments. It's gonna be really interesting.
Let's think of a way how to fix it, and let's do it together. So if you liked this video, please drop a comment, leave a like, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next episode next week.
It's gonna be really interesting. I have a really good topics. So
we have some topics. There are unlimited topics.
Prepare yourselves, people.
Yeah. If you have a topic yourself, let us know as well. And yeah, until next time, keep on striking.